sometimes I do consider all the different people that watch. Not that there's that many. I mean, on record anyway. According to my click count. Not that it matters one way or another. It's just that it's possible Satan and part of his tricks, because he can lie his way all the way through to the very end, whenever that may or may not ever be. It seems like it'll never get to that point, but that's the whole point also. When his time is short, he's going to make it, he's going to ramp it up and make it seem like it's just, here it comes, and here comes the beheadings of everything, and if you don't stick with the hiding of the Noah's Law, no. Hide, and then you're going to be beheaded, and basically everybody's just going to die. So, but the people that watch either periodically, or whether it's family that tunes in at certain points and times, and it's like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. It's not purposely done to try to be like some kind of wise guy talking about stuff that you don't know what I'm saying because I am speaking in tongues. The gist of it is this: back up when I drive by. Just be there in my eyesight. Just as soon as, like, work is the most important portion of explaining it, and just be in my eyesight. Just be there at the time that I need to go there and then do that. And there's always a, I can just tell when it's a purposefully done thing, opposed to a natural movement. Purposeful movements, it's like, and all right, ready, here, okay, hold on, here he comes, ready, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go, action. And then here comes the action. But mainly my topic usually is about, like, what is my whole purpose still after 6 years of voluntarily doing something for free that nobody on the planet gave me any kind of a Robin, you know, this is what I think you should do. Not one person in the world said, I think you should make a YouTube channel and speak your mind. Nobody in my family, because I never was into the I was never into social media except for MySpace for like a month or two. When MySpace, I wonder if that's even a thing if I typed it in. But that was it. No communication with anybody besides, who was I talking to back then? I guess my brother would call me sometimes, Mike, and we talk about these girls and what went to the strip bar. And at one, it got to a certain point where I just told him, I said, Mike, I really don't feel like hearing it, dude. I don't care what you effing some girl, that I don't want to hear it, you know? So I slowly started to turn communication off with people, with even family, because I'm doing something that you can't see until it's seen. I'm walking by faith until I get the reward, and then the reward is more of a public kind of a, oh, that's what you were doing. kind of a thing. Because other than that, it's not, I've never been a small talking conversator. I don't like talking about things that mean nothing. And if you can't relate, what's the point of talking about it? And if you don't see anything that I'm saying, why waste my breath with, I have more breath to use up by talking about things to the people that will listen, which is you, and you, and you, and you, and especially you. And you're the ones that understand what I'm doing. And matter of fact, a couple of you understand more of what I'm doing than I even can comprehend how I'm even doing it. So that's why at times I'll greet the other people, if you're still even watching after 6 minutes and 40 seconds of me really not saying much except for why I'm here and how it makes no sense and how it's unseen and unheard of, and there's nothing that I can actually do to make it known. I have to wait upon the rulers and I have to wait for the end of the script. It's the movie, it's the ending of the movie, so I have to wait for it. Even as a director, I can only direct the steps, the paths of the people, even if they have devised their evil plans. No, it's over here this way. So as a director, as a previous music video director. Oh, hi. Here, well, why don't I just properly introduce myself? My name's Robin Henry Tees. In my previous life, before I entered into this body, apparently, I made, well, no, I mean, I made YouTube videos for YouTube 30 and 40 years ago. I'm 46 years old now, 47 June 28th this year, and apparently I'm a music video director. I'm the one that I go around, I do the footage, I record the footage for YouTube. I forget how many videos I did, but at least 7 to 8. I did wild horses, I did that video footage, and then I just finished it up with finding a piece of glass on the sand of the seashore. Where's my money at for it? No, how come you're still working for a living, Robin? How come, yeah, I mean, sure, it sounds great and all, but how come Bono is a gazillionaire and you are just getting by? Well, that's a good question. I'm not too sure how exactly I could have done that, because it makes 0 sense and it's completely impossible. But if you have eyes to see, and if you're an artist, if you have an open mind, if you're able to not be destroyed and killed from Cain, then where the blinders will be over your eyes, then you'll be able to see that, all right, I get it. It is identical. Everything you're doing is identical to the YouTube videos. Because I'm a watcher of yours, and you keep showing the stuff over and over and over again. At times it's nauseating, but I get it. It's definitely similar. It's definitely the same kind of a color scheme, shape, the sizes, the shadows, the movements, the directional angles, what you're even showing Bono starts singing about as you randomly just push the record button at certain spots that you believe is the right place. I mean, think about that one for a second. Let's just say I'm not delusional, right? And let's say I'm dead on, but it's so impossible, because it is literally impossible for somebody to use my footage that I just did this year and make a video 30 to 40 years ago. That's impossible, correct? All right, so we all got that out of the way. So if I can prove to you that it's true, then I'm proving what a miracle actually is, right? Now, some people want signs. They want to see something. They need tangible evidence, like my bank account being stacked to the point where I don't have to work ever again. That would be tangible evidence, even for myself. That would be great. But in the meantime, it happens a different way. I have to keep showing the truth of these videos and how it's identical. And then once I do that, I rely on the others to explain to me, how did that happen? The ones that did it. How did you do it, Bono? Well, I'm pretty sure Jonathan Kleck can explain that one. Him and Jacob Israel can team up together on Israel's 75th anniversary on Mother's Day. And what both of them will do is they'll meet me at the boardwalk. Jonathan Kleck said it ends here. What ends here? In this last video. I'm glad you didn't make another one just yet. Same thing with you, Jacob, because I need to sit behind the computer and put it together. So I'll do that today. I'll go home and do it right after work. Instead of going to Beersheba today, I'll probably do that tomorrow. There's times where, yeah, I can do some stuff on the go. I can finish the second portion of Who's Gonna Ride My Wild Horses by YouTube by finding that piece of glass in the sand at the boardwalk in Wildwood, New Jersey. Finishing the second half of the song of Wild Horses in Wildwood. Seaport, Blue Sea. Who's gonna drown in my blue sea? Port, wild horses. So here's what happened on Mother's Day. It's like well, it stops here, right? It ends here. So what ends here? Here's where it ends. Before that, it was, I'm losing track of how many times, but before that, it was Jacob, Israel, I think it was down, yeah, the William Penn building again. So for the third time, I was tapping in with Jacob Israel live on the X app, going through the tour. I still didn't even get to finishing what I'd seen there either. I just don't have the time, because I still have to work for a living, and my truck lease is ending in July, and I'm trying to make as much as I can to have a down payment, because my credit's not that great, because I ruined it by buying that Camaro that I couldn't afford, and I had to let it drift off and then steal the Batmobile and then give it back on my birthday. So I gave it back on my birthday, I think 4 years ago, and then I had to restart my credit. So this time around, I'll probably apply around my birthday to see if I can buy it out or not. So anyway, that's what I gotta do. So I don't really have a lot of time on my hands like most people do. It would be great if I could have a lot of time on my hands. The amount of stuff that I can put together would be worth it, but my bills don't pay themselves. And my son, he said he's moving out, so I think he's going to move out at the end of this month, or the end of June. So what happened was, before that, it was a mixture of a little bit of Jacob Israel here. So we did that video. I went and showed what he was talking about in areas and things and shapes and shadows, and Stephen James chimed in about that, what he believes that one bed of nails is, and then I think even a donut was talking about it, and then Jonathan Clegg getting in there at the mix of the 2008 sign. I'm tapping in with the X app, walking down Boathouse Road, and then Steve Banoon chimed in down there in Israel with the crater in the ground and the tree branch sitting under Hiroshima, the other side. So 3 different sources tapping in to my X app planet. For the first time, both of yous, Jacob Israel and Jonathan Clegg, both were talking about the same place at the same time on the same day that I was going to be there. So before I believe I even booked the motel in Wildwood, Jonathan Clegg did a video about walking on the boardwalk and looking down and then seeing the star, and then looking at and then was seeing a bird fly away and all that, and then at the same time Jacob Israel was talking about he's going to go down the beach today, and that was the day before I went down to do some editing, because that's what I was doing that day. Jonathan Clegg made his final video the same day, well, the night before the 75th anniversary, Nation Israel becoming a nation again, but still referring to the boardwalk and the star and the flying away bird, right? So I go down to the shore, I go down to, and also considering the song from U2, Riding My Wild Horses, how that tied in. What I did was I tied all 3 of those together, and I haven't given it to you like that yet. I gave you bits and pieces, because I can only do so much when I'm just using my phone editing. I can produce it better with behind the actual computer itself. So when I went down there, what I have comprehended from the 2 is that first things first, I get there, we're walking, me and my wife, she's a little bit ahead of me, just out of reach. I'm walking, I see a piece of glass in the sand. So I stopped. I said, hold on, honey. It took me about 5 minutes to get the app set up. You know, the footage you see that I put together on my phone at that exact moment. Because what that reminded me of was the U2 song of Who's Gonna Ride My Wild Horses. Right from the beginning, it says you're like an accident waiting to happen. And then I show you the tree chipped off as I'm walking through where I believe U2 may have taken the footage from the horse farm that's at the Forbidden Drive down there in Philadelphia, near Conshohocken. So what are the odds of that, first of all? And then considering the fact that it's true, it's unbelievable. So, but you have eyes, you can see it, you see what it is. And I am just doing things randomly, pushing shuffles, playing YouTube videos, walk through the art museum, just going, push and record. Here comes Jacob Israel live. Let me see what he's got going on here down William Penn Building. I go in this direction, that direction. I end up at that Moses figure with the hidden hand, and then Jacob shows his hand 2 seconds after. A 20-minute video as I'm just strolling around wherever I'm going. Then, so I see that, I start recording it. Now I'm tapped in, finishing off after the song of Wild Horses by U2, like an accident waiting to happen, and then you're a piece of glass stuck in the sea. You left my heart like an empty lot, and you know, whatever other the words are. So I finished that off. Then I believe I did the first 5 minutes. It was too windy to lay down. I'm pretty sure there was something about wind in YouTube's video. I gotta read. I gotta put the words out so you can see them too. And then I went to lay down. We moved closer to the side where there was buildings, and that's where all that artwork was. So we just laid there to catch some sun to get away from the wind, because the wind was ridiculously blowing. There's no way that we were going to lay there, and I think that was by design to be that windy, so so I wouldn't lay there. So we would go to the next spot. Jacob's talking about the heart of something or another, and we stayed at the heart of Heart of Wildwood Motel. So as I'm walking, the entire time that we're on the beach, that was the only piece of glass that I found stuck in the sea. So I recorded it and added it to the video, which is where it belongs, my second portion of the video. Because not only did I have to show you my wild horses, but I needed to show you the blue sea with both of the videos. So that was purposed to have happen, and I did exactly what I was supposed to. Then I seen, walking along as Jacob Israel. Now, mind you, I'm walking, I also used the boardwalk footage, so I put a few clips together. And so Jonathan Clegg is doing the boardwalk thing and the star thing, and then so I show you where we laid at the star on the wall. So there's a star, there's the boardwalk. Right before that, when I tap back into Jacob Israel, as soon as, again, I didn't even watch his video, I'm just pushing getting to the, because it's just what should happen. This is what should happen. I have faith, I walk with faith, push the button of the X app, it's gonna line up somehow. I don't know how, it just will. Walking by faith, walking by faith. Next thing you know, Jacob's talking about a boat, getting into the boat. What do I show you on video recording, it looks like a boat where everybody's getting in, going into the ark, where it's the roller coaster ride. Then I'm walking by. Then he proceeds to talk about Will Smith being turned into spaghetti. The second he shows you Will Smith's face wrapped around spaghetti, I'm walking by a spaghetti full of either iron rails or aluminum rails, handrails, just spaghetti, right at the same exact time. How convenient. And then, considering that spaghetti, the boat, the star, the morning star, the boardwalk, Jacob said he was going down to the shore that day to do some editing, which is exactly what I did that day, do some editing on the boardwalk, the morning star, to show you the star, and then the bird flying off, the one with the wings, with the mouth and the teeth, with the wings, in between, all of it, flying away. Yep. So what happened was, on Mother's Day, on the 75th year anniversary of the nation of Israel becoming a nation again, along with the heart and the two hands connected together that says love never fails, I believe I was supposed to be there at that moment on Israel's 75th year anniversary in order to prove I heard both of yous correctly. And it's my job to put the two of you back together. At the boardwalk in Wildwood, New Jersey, on May 14th, 2023, after 6 years of being up on YouTube, finding the two people that need to be reconciled back together, the Jacob and Esau type of relationship, whoever's who, and because one of them is from the earth and one of them's coming from above, an angel of the bottomless pit, and then the one from up above. There's also a north star. There's an angel down here. There's someone on the land. And the heart shows it and proves it all, that it happened on Israel's birthday. Israel. Jacob Israel and Jonathan Kleck, both in the XApp on the same day, showed me where I was supposed to be at that exact moment. So that is a unseen, unheard of. It's unbelievable. It doesn't make sense. It's impossible that people could have pre-recorded videos and then you can also all of a sudden you push record on the XApp and you're tapping in to them with what they're saying, with where you need to be. And that's the story of my life. I can't explain anything better than that, and I can't really prove any of it besides the fact that it's true. Oh yeah, and Revelation 13, where the one with the wounded head, and then the beast, the system, like the Jacob Israel system, being someone with two horns like a lamb, speaks like a dragon, causes all of those to worship the first beast in his presence. Because what I am doing is I'm showing you the two coming together. And so, considering the fact that the hearts changed and each side, in order to know that that's who you are, you know, it's like a secret handshake kind of thing. You take the one portion of this, and then the other one needs to match up with that one down at the seashore in Wildwood. And so that's how the two become one, the left and right. The two beasts of Revelation that was planned out for quite some time, and then the dragon that's standing on the sand of the seashore. Remember that one? Remember the dragon standing on the sand of the seashore? Huh. And that's where I was at on this. I was standing on the sand of the seashore. I found a piece of glass stuck in the sea, just like Bono said in the video of Band of Horses, where the band of horses were, where that was the first part of my video. That was my 8th video, I believe, I made. That was my 8th music video that I directed for YouTube that I'm aware of so far. And then I did a part 2, and I still have to put it together a little bit better, and I'll do that when I go home.